Me and Mrs. Jones, Mrs. Jones, Mrs. Jones, Mrs. Jones. Hey, we got a thing going on. Dun-dun, dun-dun. Man, I can't believe the type of music that I was singing as a child. You know, I wasn't even in my double digits yet. Singing them songs like I literally had an affair going on with Mrs. Jones. You couldn't tell me shit. You couldn't tell me nothing. Okay? And then the fact that my cousins and my grandparents and my mammy encouraged me to, act a nigga in front of people. But anyway, love bugs. If you have not already done so, please remember to like, share to Facebook, subscribe, and visit me at uptopbeauty.com. I know you see those glasses in the window. I know you see my punk funk black shades without the bling. If you like them, come on over to uptopbeauty.com and you can get your very own pair. Me and Mrs. Jones. Y'all, look, I done took my nighttime medicine. I don't know how this video gonna be, y'all. I don't know. But what I'm gonna do is, because we finna talk about Prince, I'm gonna act right, okay? Listen. I'm gonna put my best effort to act right with Prince. I'm serious, y'all. I'm gonna try and read this too. So then that way, like when I read it, it's more straightforward, and then it gives me less movement room to act a ninja. So anyway, let's get started with this. I can't promise you that I won't be a ninja the entire way, but I know when we talk about Prince, I'm gonna act right, okay? Now let's go. There were only a few stars who carried the torch for raw funk in the mid-'80s, and the baddest of them all was Prince. I would agree. He knew P-Funk in and out, and he was trying some of the same tricks we had. He believed in the two-band balance, though he did his own take on it, setting the resolution, child. Hold on. Let's start this again. Okay. He believed in the two-band balance, though he did his own take on it, setting the revolution up against the time. He wrote and produced for outside acts like Family, Sheila E., Jill Jones, and more. And his Camille character, a sped-up voice that was one of his alter egos, had more than a little star child in it. Prince had been hip to us since the early days. He was the perfect age. In the late 70s, when he was getting ready to debut as an artist, he had brought his first record to his label, which happened to be Warner Brothers. During that meeting, they played him, The Name is Bootsy Baby, and it stopped him cold. He didn't even want to go forward. He took his own record back home and worked on it for 8 more months. Mo Austin from Warner Brothers told me that he had been talking to Prince once and that Prince had given me a compliment. He said I was up there with Elvis and James Brown. In the early 80s, the feeling was mutual, especially after records like Dirty Mind in 1999. I heard his songs everywhere, but more than that, I listened into the middle of them and heard a rock or new wave update of some of the same things we were doing in Funkadelic. 1999 especially. With the sped up and slowed down voices, the mix of commercial singles and out there experiments, even the cover art. Then he exploded with Purple Rain. He was such a talented songwriter, especially when it came to absorbing other people's styles and making them into something distinctive. Like Stevie Wonder, he wrote songs that were instant standards. Purple Rain would have played straight as a country song or a folk song. That's true, y'all. Purple rain, purple rain. Ooh, yes, baby. Purple rain, purple rain. I remember when I went to go see that with my sister. I think I told this story already, but anyway, my mom was always working. She was working 100 jobs, so the bitch wasn't, the mammy wasn't never there, so me and sister would get up, or I would get up in the middle of the night, tap her on the shoulder, because you can't leave a girl in the house, and be like, come on, baby, let's walk on down there to the Ontario over there on 18th and Columbia Road. Child, what the hell is 2 children? I think I was 14, my sister was 7. That was before all the standards and stuff that you got to come with an adult and all that other bullshit. And plus, my boobs was probably big enough, so they probably thought I was an adult anyway. But unlike Stevie Wonder, he didn't like people to cover his material. I didn't get that. I thought he didn't understand what publishing was for. It's to stick a flag in a song and claim it so that when someone else works with it, you can get paid. We had overlapping communities. Our late 70s bootlegger, Billy Sparks, had ended up in the movie Purple Rain. And the electrifying Mojo, who was a P-Funk obsessive, became one of Prince's important early supporters. I called him and started a conversation that led to a record deal. When I signed to Paisley Park, I split the money between myself, Archie, my lawyers, and the IRS. Oh, and that dude Armin. Armin got almost half, in fact, in repayment for fronting me the money that had saved my farm from foreclosure. When I visited Minneapolis to work on Cinderella Theory, Prince came by the studio to say hi, but he kept his distance, tried to give me the right conditions to get work done. The most one-on-one contact I had with him was late at night. I'd be at the hotel by myself getting high, of course, Georgie, of course, and he'd call me and ask me to come over to his house. I believed in conspiracies, I believed in conspiracies, but they condition you not to believe in anything. It's probably more accurate to say that I believed in the idea of conspiracies, in the idea that nothing was as it seemed, and that strings were always being pulled. And that strings were always being pulled behind the scenes. Prince listened sometimes, asked questions, and sometimes he would joke. Prince has always claimed that he didn't do any drugs, and I never saw him do any. But he must have had at least done coffee, because I don't know any other mother hunchy who could go to sleep at 5:30 in the morning and be back at it at 8 a.m. That's crazy. That's crazy to me. That's crazy to me. Oh, hold on, y'all. Right. I'm going to go to the side, then I'm going to come back, right? So, look, yesterday, I get up every morning and I go get my iced coffee. And, y'all, I don't know how much longer I'm going to be able to act right, okay? Because this medicine is, I don't know. But anyway, so I get up every morning and I go to my Dunkin' Donuts and I get my iced decaf coffee, right? But it is this lady there, y'all. I be wanting to fuck her up, y'all. I'm telling y'all, like, yesterday I went through the drive-thru, and I don't like going through the drive-thru because if I go through the drive-thru, then that means I can't wash the bitch, right? Because every time she make my coffee, it be wrong. One time, y'all, on the inside, this bitch gave me this large coffee. It was regular coffee. And then she handed it to me. I was like, what is that? Who is that for? She was like, that's your coffee. I said, didn't I tell you decaf? She said, oh, I'm sorry. Girl, and then yesterday, when I tasted it, I was like, this is not decaf when I was in the drive-thru, okay? And then I asked the bitch for a potted donut. The bitch gave me chocolate donut holes. I said, they need to fire this bitch. They better not catch me on the right day, because on the right day, can I speak to the manager? Can I talk to the manager? Come here, manager. But anyway, I was trying not to be stupid. Oh, wait, where am I? Oh, here comes Sly, y'all. Ooh. Okay. So, at this time that he's working with Paisley Park and Prince and everything, he put that nigga Sly on hold, right? you know. Oh, and let me say something else, right? He said what George Clinton said before I move on the slide, my bad, okay? So anyway, he said why he would be in the studio working somewhere in Prince's establishment, right? He said that he would go into the bathroom to smoke his crack if he needed to. I'm saying to myself, I wish I would invite a Mother Hunchy to my house to help him get to the next level, and then he end up smoking crack in my bathroom. Joe, you got me fucked up. Okay, you got me fucked up. But anyway, back to Sly, because, you know, we had to talk about drugs because Sly is crazy. But anyway, he had to put Sly on hold, right? So let me tell you why. Sly was heading in his own direction in those days, which was always a deeply strange direction. Child, it's not too far from you, boy. You smoking crack in Prince's bathroom, brother. Okay? A few years earlier, he had been in the studio working on a new record, and all of a sudden, a voice came in and said something. Okay? They in the studio together, him and Georgie Pooh, right? Suddenly, Sly hears somebody talking. George looking at him like, brother, are you lunching? Okay? There's nobody in here with us. Look out there. It's dark. There's nobody in here with us. He was like, okay, man, you right. Sly calmed down, and then the voices came back. George is telling him, brother, you is lunching. I can't deal with you no more. I'm like, George, y'all done been through way more than that, than him hearing voices in the middle of the night. You know, and then now you want to cut the ninja off because he hearing voices. George was upset, or he was bothered, because he's like, yeah, Sly is tripping because we've already acknowledged that there's nobody here talking to him, okay? But he's still hearing voices. Yeah, you hearing aliens, brother. It's the aliens. Another time, he blew up his house in Bel Air. Someone was doing drugs there, and they left the ether open. You need ether to do drugs? What? Sly was back in a corner of his house in the bathroom, and the ether had drifted from the kitchen. When he lit his pipe, it blew up the part of his house he was in. It was an addition, and it separated from the rest of the house. The structure blew completely off of the house. When the smoke cleared, the bathroom was donezo. Gone. Fell off the house. I'm like, damn, he still got a house smoking all the crack and being all the crazy? When I wasn't in Minneapolis recording Cinderella Theory, I was spending much of my time in Los Angeles, and part of the time I was hanging around the fringes of the movie business. In 1988, I did a cameo in a movie called The Night Before, which was one of the first starring roles for Keanu Reeves. I lost a $20,000 check on the set, and one of Keanu's boys found it. You know what's crazy? Like, Cameron was just I just heard Cameron talk about a time where he was like, oh, nigga, I lost the check. I'm saying to myself, what you so bothered for? You just go back to the bank or to whoever you got the check from and be like, oh, I lost that check. Go ahead, cancel the check. Here go the $25 to cancel the damn check, you know, and make me out enough one. I'm like, why the hell is it such a serious thing? That right there. Anyway, one of Keanu's boys found the check. The year after that, I moved deeper into the movies. I co-wrote the theme song for Howard the Duck, and also produced a record by a band that grew out of the film, a band that pretended that it grew out of the film. Otis Day and the Knights. Have y'all ever heard of Otis Day and the Knights? I don't know that ninja. I don't know him, y'all. Oh, what is this? Okay, here we go. One evening in Los Angeles, Archie Ivy and I drove away from a coke dealer's house up onto the 405 expressway. Took the exit to head home and saw flashing police lights in our rear view mirror. The cop who walked up to our window said that Archie's headlights weren't on, which wasn't true. More than that, it wasn't possible. You couldn't even start his car without the lights coming on. That's because the police officers don't have a luxury car. You hear me? They be mad as shit at you luxury car driving owners. They hate you niggas. Okay? Because that's what you won't do. I'm around here risking my life every day. No, you're not. No, you're not. Police officers die. It'd be like 16 police officers die in the what is that? The Call of Duty. Is that the right word? Like every year, child. 16. And then most of them die by accident on a job. Child, bang, 16 per year. Let's count how many police kill civilians per year. And them ninjas be all flinchy. Oh, I don't want to die. I risk my life every day. No, you don't. Shut the fuck up. Okay? Anyway, the cops searched the car like they knew what they were looking for, though they didn't find it. I stuffed the paper with the drugs down into my pants, but the paper was open, and as I walked around, everything leaked out. Coke paper, all of it. When we got down to the jailhouse, the police somehow managed to produce the same amount of boogity sugary that had leaked out through the bottom of my pants. Entrapment, you know how they say they be planting them, on there. And they got to plant them. Because I told you, it's always about numbers, y'all. It's always about numbers. As soon as they take the, what's the word, y'all? Ooh, that medicine, y'all. That medicine. As soon as they take the quotas out of policing, everything will be so much better. But you have to understand how much being a police officer generates for the city or the county or the state. It generates so much money. So that's why they have to put them quotas on them people. Yeah, y'all learning a lesson today. Okay, where we are. From jail, we called Nene's daughter. We hadn't seen him in a while. It had been a year or two since we spoken. But we knew that he could pull some strings in Los Angeles. He and one of his guys got there before anyone even knew it. And he was able to get the two dudes out, right? But George Clinton in his mind like, why I call this nigga? Why did I do that? Let me tell you why he was like that. Because later on, Nene back in his life, hey, man, I ain't going nowhere. I guess you still need me, even though, I was stealing money from you. Then you paid me $70,000 to go away, but I took it, right? So anyway, Nene had this idea, or he had this caper, okay, that he was investing money in some kind of Panama bank, right? A bank over in Panama, right? And he had told George about it, but George was looking at him sideways like, but I ain't mess with you. I already, determined that you was a serpent. I done got your fangs out my neck, and I don't want to be bothered with you no more. Hold on, let me tell you what that ninja did. We were out one night, and he leaned over to me and said, your problem is that you won't tell Stephanie about your bitches. Nigga, what? What you say? You gonna threaten me? The one bitch who done stood here with me through all the tests of time, and then you gonna run tell her about all the side bitches and you know ninjas never stitch on each other. Never. They never do that. Even if it was his sister. Ninjas do not snitch on each other when they creeping, because they know it's going to be a time when they're going to creep and they're going to need that ninja to keep his mouth closed, okay? That's the trials and tribulations of being a dirty dick. You got to surround yourself with other dirty dicks, right? But anyway, George Clinton looked at him like, I wish the fuck you would tell Stephanie anything, okay? But he ran home, told Stephanie, it was like, Stephanie, ooh, I gotta tell you about all these other broads I've been with, cause that nigga Nene, ooh, he said he was gonna call you and tell you about it. So I'm gonna tell you first. He pulled the Kevin Hart. That's what he did. He pulled the Kevin Hart. You can't blackmail these celebrities like you used to. These niggas is running back and telling their women, ooh, I got a dirty dick. I am so sorry. So sorry, baby. We ended up getting married, Steph and I, in Toledo in 1990. Nene was mad about it. Why is Nene mad about you marrying the woman that stood next to you through the depths of hell? Why is he mad for? Is he mad? Is he mad because what the plot that he thought or the leverage that he had, he can't have it no more? You know, well, damn, what I'm going to do now? Okay, now I can't tell his woman that he cheating on her. What I'm going to do now? And the dude, Archie, said that he had to run and go tell his wife, too, because the nigga Nene did the same thing to him. Okay, so now we in 1989, and he is discussing all the sampled music that he got paid from. The first one he talked about was Me, Myself, and I. He said he got $100,000 to use that. $100,000. I know some of you gonna be like, Nay, what do you talk about, girl? $100,000 is like, to me, $1,000 right now. After the tax man get a hold of you, you know, after you pay off some old debts or something like that, child, you ain't gonna have no money no more. A few other rap acts ponied up with money. Digital Underground paid for Let's Play House, which was the basis for Humpty Dance. X-Clan paid for using One Nation Under a Groove in their song Earthbound. And what was the next song? Hold on, y'all. Oh, and he's going to talk about MC Hammer, a situation that happened with MC Hammer. But hold on, we'll get there. With cooler heads, we could have worked out a nice system, scaled to sales. If an artist sampled us and didn't sell very many records, the artist wouldn't have to pay us very much. But if an artist sampled us and sold between 500,000 and 1 million records, the cost would be $50,000. If sales exceeded 1 million, the price would go up to $100,000. What? You know this is old, because, I mean, you can't even pay NBA YoungBoy $1 million to get on his, where he locked up right now. But you know what I'm saying? These youngins is asking for $10,000 for a feature, $20,000 for a feature, $200,000 for a feature. You can't just, no, that's old money. These young boys is getting paid money. Like, who's that new cool rap dude? Not NBA YoungBoy, because he locked up. Who is the dude that sing Waukesha about the lean? Moneybag Yo. You gonna have to come out your pocket with that nigga. You gonna have to give him about $500,000 to sing on your song, okay? Because you don't want to be affiliated with no bullshit, okay? That's just a broad sketch of what I had in mind. I'm sure there were even more nuanced ways to charge, and I would have been receptive to them all. What I wasn't receptive to was the red tape that goes into, look, you in the courthouse, right? You got the judge there, you got the jurors there, just like the situation that happened with Robin Thicke and what's his name, Pharrell. Okay, I don't even understand why Robin Thicke is still. I don't even understand why he ain't moved to Jamaica, because that nigga should be flat broke. So should Pharrell. Okay, all right, because after that situation happened with that Marvin Gaye song, I mean, they cleaned him out. But anyway, what George Clinton said he don't like is that when you go to court and then you're depending on a jury to say, yeah, it sound like the song, yeah, it don't sound like the song. Yeah, it sound like they sampled Marvin Gaye music. No, it don't sound like Marvin Gaye music. So it's all about, perception per se, right? Now, at around the same time, that people are paying him to, and notice, wait a minute, hold on, did y'all dig this? When he talking about people are paying him, did you share any of that money with the rest of the Funketeers, the P-Funk thing? Did you share that money? Because you got a bad reputation, Georgie. You got a bad reputation because you didn't say nothing about that you were splitting this money. And I know you weren't in the studio by yourself creating this music and these sounds. Okay, brother, I don't know. The rumors may be true. No, they ain't maybe, because you ain't say nothing in this book that you was, giving some of this sample. Oh, you know what? I take it back. When we did the documentary, Judge Clinton wanted to, one of the players was like, I didn't like it at first, people using our music, but then when the money started coming in, was it Junie? I'm not sure, okay, but at around the same time, Archie and I went to Warner Brothers to try to collect money from MC Hammer's record. Turn this mother out. Turn this mother out, which basically lifted, give up the funk, tear the roof off the sucker. Ooh, I gotta listen to that. In the process of investigating that record, we discovered that Warner's claimed to have our catalog and that Armin was claiming the publishing for the Mothership Connection songs. And in fact, everything, every parliament, every funkadelic, everywhere, my name appeared. When he looked into it further, Warner's got nervous. They said they would have to get back to us. When they finally called Archie back, they were belligerent and unhelpful. But the paper trail, or whatever of the paper trail we could find, seemed to suggest that Warner's Music had acquired our catalog by buying Chappelle Publishing, which included Polygram, which also included Rick's Music. Let me tell you what else they acquired. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Do you know how rich the motherfucker is that owned Happy Birthday to You? Did you know, excuse me, God, every single time they play that song or sing that song on the radio or on the TV, that you got to pay this nigga Chappelle Publishing? Oh my God. And that's why when you see on Sesame Street don't sing, Happy Birthday to You. They got all these other different, songs. They ain't finna pay Chappelle shit. But based on various provisions in our contract, Polygram had no authority to sell our catalog. And when we asked Polygram how it was sold, they said they had acquired my power of attorney and transferred those copyrights to the label, who later sold them to Warner's. Strange doings, strange time. Ain't nothing strange, girl. That's called the goop, girl. That's called the goop. Oh, I've been talking to y'all for 30 minutes. Okay, we almost done. The album that really upped the ante on the sampling question was Dr. Dre's The Chronic, which took over the world in 1992. Now, if you have not already done so, please remember to like, share to Facebook, and subscribe, because it is so important to our success here on the YouTube. Now, remember this. The same people that you meet on the way up will always be the same people that you meet on the way down. My naysayers, my patron loves. You babies, have a good one. Peace.